Happy New Year, folks, and welcome to 2026. Today is the first day of the new year, and welcome to the Next Ring podcast. This is your host, Adam Brazizi. I'm joined today by my co-host, Chris Garabedian. So, before we get into the pod, I want to just do a little news dump. We did put the last episode on YouTube. Plan to do a lot of that going forward. Maybe even just start doing one-off YouTube videos eventually if we have a tape we want to get off. Not sure what the plan for that will be, but it's at the Next Ring Pod on YouTube, or just search the Next Ring Podcast. We'd love to get the subscriber count up there. But other than that, how are we doing today, G? Happy New Year.
Happy New Year, Brew. I am wearing a different shirt today. I always wear the Brady shirt, but I've been waiting 5 long years to wear this shirt. It's been quietly tucked away in my closet. It is the Patriots Run the East shirts. These are the old ones. You're looking at your 2025 East champions. I wouldn't touch it until we won the division again. I thought today would be a perfect day to bring it back out.
Absolutely love it. Yeah, I guess we finished recording the post game last week before the Bills lost that game to the Eagles. That was surprising, man. Allen really missed a wide open throw there to clinch it for us, but definitely great to be back on top of the East. I don't think we want to stop there, but given where things have been for the franchise in recent years, it's definitely a very solid milestone for them to accomplish.
Yeah, in year one of like a rebuild that everyone, if you go back and you look through all the preseason stuff, everyone was saying, this team would be lucky to win 8 games. Personally going into the year, I thought they would be 10-7. I didn't think that they would obviously be where they're at right now, but to be from where they were to division champions in just year one, it's truly remarkable.
Looking to get to 14-3 this week. Yeah, it's been a hell of a season, man. I mean, can't really ask for more, and like we said, you're hoping they accomplish more this year, but whatever this ends up being the next couple of weeks, it feels like it's just the start of a great new era of Patriots football under Mike Vrabel and Drake Maye. Yeah, so with that, today's pod, we're going to get some unfortunate Patriots news. A lot of stuff in the news this week with Patriots players getting in trouble. We'll touch on that briefly. I don't think we're in a position to get too deep into that stuff. We'll talk on some of the MVP debate, which I have as listeners can expect to have a lot of thoughts on after that Matthew Stafford debacle the other night. We're going to preview the Pats-Dolphins game, and then we're getting to the 3 big NFL games this weekend, basically 3 division championships essentially. And we'll see what that brings us to the end. Maybe even touch on some of this college football stuff if we have time. But starting off, unfortunately, I mean, you get 2 straight days where you got really important Patriots players in the news for things you don't want to be in the news about. Stephon Diggs and Christian Barmore basically both accused of domestic violence. I don't think as a fan podcast we're in position to get too deep into this. It sounds like both guys are going to be available for the foreseeable future. It doesn't sound like this is something that's going to be all of a sudden these guys are put on the exemption list. But I don't know. You have any? I mean, it would suck to lose either of these guys in the playoffs. Needless to say, but I don't know. What do you think, G? Any thoughts?
I mean, I'll just say this. We're not going to get too deep into it. You're innocent until proven guilty in this country. I think that's one thing we got to remember. You can't just assume that they did it. These are, as Coach Vrabel said yesterday, these are allegations. They're not verdicts. So with that, be that as it may, it's a terrible distraction of the football team. I just want to keep it about the team and how it relates to the Patriots. It's a terrible distraction of the team. I don't care what the coach says. I don't care what the players say. When you hear that outside noise, and especially again, it's a holiday week. It's a little bit of a weird week for them. They're coming off this huge high where they dominate the Jets. The Bills choke. They win the division. It's like everything's going great. And then, the Diggs news, and then 24 hours later, the Barmore news. It's just, it couldn't be worse timing for the team. So, we'll see. It sounds like Vrabel said they're both going to be available Sunday. And unless, barring any crazy news or bombshells or updates, they are not going to be on the exempt list. So they'll still be able to play, it sounds like, which is good. But it's really going to be about how Vrabel and the coaching staff and some of the veteran leaders on this team kind of move past this and not let it snowball into a major distraction that could end their season.
Yeah, I think Diggs' court date's late January and Barmore's into early February or something, so I wouldn't expect anything before then. It doesn't sound like Diggs is actually going to be it sounds like that might just be settled out of court.
Mm-hmm.
It sounds this is like a weird scenario, but yeah, we're not in a position to talk about legal stuff, obviously. It does sound like they've known about the Barmore thing since like August.
Which is strange.
I don't know if the team's known, and same with Diggs. I mean, this Diggs thing has been out for a couple of weeks. Or at least it's went to court a couple weeks ago. I don't know like how long the locker room's known. I guess we probably won't know that, but yeah, it's definitely kind of a unique situation. Definitely not what you want going into week 18, but yeah, like you said, let's hope it's nothing that kind of festers up as an issue with the team, and you can kind of keep it at that. The next topic that I think is definitely worth a worthy discussion is this whole MVP debate. So, going into Monday Night Football, I was speaking into existence a Matthew Stafford collapse. I was saying Rams going to take that L to the Falcons. Stafford's throwing 3 picks. Bijan's going to take over. Basically, all of that happened to a T. I mean, Stafford was bad in that game. Like, straight up, like he had 3 picks. 1 pick six, another one that was like almost a pick six. The guy stepped out of bounds and he took it to the end zone. The only reason the Rams lost 27-24, the only reason that was a game, I mean, the Falcons were kicking a field goal to go up 17 late in the third, and Jared Verse blocked it and took it for a touchdown to make it a 7-point game. Yeah. So he took 3. Like, I think this game kind of did show a lot of the flaws that Stafford has, where he's not mobile. Like, he's 37 years old, he's not moving well, and they were down a couple of starting offensive linemen, and like the Falcons were getting pressure, and he was getting rid of making bad throws. He was taking sacks. Kind of similar to Week 13 against Carolina. I mean, he had 2 picks that game and a fumble in the red zone as they were about to tie the game late. That Carolina game, he also had a pick 6. I'm seeing so many analysts still be like, oh, you can't take the MVP for the guy because he had 1 bad game, and it's like, I don't know what we're talking about here. Matthew Stafford is quarterbacking a top 2 roster in the league, I would say. I'd say the Rams and the Eagles probably have the 2 best when you take into account run game, receiving core, offensive line, overall
defensive line.
Yeah, like the Rams are loaded.
Yeah, Sean McVay is his coach.
He has the best play caller in football. They have the number 1 success rate running the ball in football on the season. Their defense is 5th in EPA. I mean, he's throwing to probably the most impressive receiver in the NFL right now, Puka Nacua. Hall of Famer and Devontae Adams is his number 2. And they're going to finish as a 12-5 6 seed. That does not get you the MVP award. Just because he threw a bunch of touchdown passes, I mean, I don't know. I feel like it's like, all right, yeah, like it's not just one game. They kind of like pissed away the 1 seed, and they're going to finish 3rd in their division, and we're just going to give this guy the MVP as like a lifetime achievement thing. That's the other thing I'm saying. It's kind of, amongst many things that's driving me nuts. He has 3 Pro Bowls in his career. Before the season, he's received 1 MVP vote. In 2023, he finished 8th in the MVP voting, which means he probably received like a couple third-place votes or whatever. So we're just going to give him an MVP that he doesn't deserve because he's been a pretty good quarterback over his career. And I'm not trying to like hate on Matthew Stafford, but he hasn't been the best quarterback in the football this year.
Yeah.
What do you think?
So Matthew Stafford's a Hall of Fame quarterback. He's had a great career, and he's having a really good season. He's throwing a lot of touchdown passes. Other than the touchdowns, Drake Maye is better than him in every single category you could be better than as a quarterback. His EPA, his completion percentage, I believe their yards are neck and neck. And he obviously has rushed for more yards.
Yeah, the rushing is totally like Drake Maye's ran for 409 rush yards and 4 TDs, 35 rushing first downs for Drake Maye. Like, that's really important in football. If your quarterback can do that stuff in the NFL in 2025, Matthew Stafford, -2 rush yards, 0 rushing touchdowns, 0 rushing first downs. I mean, that's really important for this analysis, and you see nobody talk about that.
Yeah. I mean, he would be an anomaly, too, if they gave him the MVP. His team's going to be in the wild card. So going back to the year 2000, there have only been 3 players who have won the MVP and not been a division winner. Marshall Faulk in the year 2000. Steve McNair was co-MVP with Peyton Manning in 2003, and McNair's team the Titans were in the wild card. And then Adrian Peterson in 2012, they were a wild card team. So it does not happen, for wild card. You have to win. Part of the thing is like you have to be obviously valuable to your team. You have to have a great statistical season, and your team has to win a lot of football games and win your division. And be in a position to like host multiple games and like be a true championship contender. And I'm saying the Rams aren't a championship contender. I still think they are. I wouldn't be stunned if they made their way to the NFC Championship or even the Super Bowl. But they did piss away the 1 seed, and he has been a large portion of the reason as to why they did piss away the 1 seed.
Yeah, and it's like the thing that I keep seeing. I mean, the weaker schedule. They played such a weak schedule. First off, I mean, it's the fucking NFL. The Patriots. It's like, he stat padded against the Jets. He did everything in the first half. He had one drive in the second half. He came out of the game with 10 minutes left in the third quarter. The Jets, who do suck, beat the Falcons a few weeks ago, who just beat the Rams. It's the NFL. Like, these teams are all pretty good. These guys all have to be outstanding football players to play in the NFL. I mean, coming into this season, any ranking you saw on any analyst that was ranking wide receiver groups in the league would have put the Patriots in the bottom 5. Everybody thought this receiving corps sucked. And he's just put them on his back and made amazing play after amazing play, throwing so many deep balls for touchdowns that like you just can't throw better. That it's like he's just watching the games. It's like this. I don't care who is playing. They've played plenty of even a lot of these bad teams. Plenty of them have pretty good defenses. They played 6 common opponents. Drake's been better against the common opponents than Stafford has. I mean, and then you take it like we said, like Stafford has these 2 legitimate all-pro wide receivers, the best play caller in football, the number 1 rush success rate, the number 5 defense. The Patriots are 27th in rush success rate. All year long, he's been asked to carry them on 3rd and long, tough down and distance scenarios, and he's done it. And they're going to finish 14-3 with the team that had an over-under in Vegas before the season of 7.5. Like, he's just had an MVP caliber season, and I just don't think Stafford has. And it's crazy to me that obviously I'm biased because I have this bet on it, and that's the only reason I care this much about it. But I just think, like I see in Dan Orlovsky, former Lions backup, friend of Matthew Stafford. Lions backup when Matthew Stafford was the quarterback. Same agent. Using arbitrary stats on ESPN. This guy's got a vote, by the way, saying like, here are their stats against 11-plus win teams. As if Drake, it's like, dude, he played the fucking Bills.
He has no control over that.
He has no control over that. Coming into the season, the Bills and Ravens have probably to be, 2 of the top 3 or 4 Super Bowl favorites. He went into both their buildings and beat them. He went into Tampa and beat the Bucs, and those are the 3 hardest games on their schedule all season. He won them all on the road. I mean, Dan Orlovsky was saying before the 2024 draft, if you take Drake Maye, he's going to have to sit for 2 years before he's ready to play an NFL snap. He's all like, it's just, I don't know if it's the Patriots thing that people just don't like the Pats and like they don't want to see us have an MVP at this point, which obviously for some people.
I heard Orlovsky offered to mentor Drake Maye and be his quarterback coach when he got to the pros, and Drake Maye shunned him and told him no thanks, and that's why he's got a bias against him. I don't know if that's true, but that's something I heard.
I saw that too, and I actually have seen Orlovsky be pretty pro-Maye this season, like a lot of like breaking down film of how well he's played, but it's like, yeah, like and he's just got he's making the case for his buddy. It's like you get to vote on it.
Yeah, that's pathetic that he gets a vote on it. I mean, I don't take anything Dan Orlovsky says with any like grain of information or respect. He was one of the worst quarterbacks I ever saw play football. He had the awareness of a newborn baby. He stepped out of the end zone and had the dumbest safety in the history of the league. I don't want to hear anything that guy's opinion on quarterbacking at all. He sucked.
Yeah, it's not just him though. I'm seeing a lot of. Now, is this my Twitter feed funneling me stuff that's making me mad? Definitely a possibility. But I'm not seeing a ton of like, it's definitely Maye. Besides people that are actually like, let's look at the numbers. Let's like, there's a ton of like, let's adjust the numbers for strength of schedule. Maye still kills him. Like Maye in EPA is 0.3 EPA per play, which is like outstandingly good. Stafford's 0.22. Like that's a pretty damn large gap between the two. I mean, there's just so many different things you can go through. End of the day, I think it's more of like Stafford's not really a deserving MVP this year. Like they're 60.
He's had a nice year.
He's had a good year.
I think in other years he could have been the MVP. But this year, when Drake's done what he's done to lead this team out of nowhere with like they don't have a bad roster, but they don't have a great roster. This team still won 4 games last year, and he elevated this team so much, and he's played like at a otherworldly level. I mean, like we're talking like historical greatness. We're talking 1984 Dan Marino, 2018 Patrick Mahomes, 2019 Lamar Jackson, like that level. That's what every stat, and that's what everything he's done this year is like equatable to. So I think I don't know. It would be stunning if he didn't win the MVP based off all his numbers and how they compare to like the greats in their second years and what he's done from a wins loss perspective too.
Yeah, it's just like eye test. It's like this kid makes play after play. And you're like, man, that was incredibly impressive. Like the game in Buffalo, he's making that throw. He's on the run, making that throw on the sidelines to Diggs. He's escaping the sack to Diggs. How many times has he escaped the sack and made a play with his legs this year? It's just like that's the stuff that when you're rooting against him, like this guy's incredible. You can't stop him, right? Like I don't know. It's kind of wild to me that it's how much it seems to be still up for grabs. The Vegas stuff does seem to point to May winning, but like they don't always get that right with this stuff. At the end of the day, it's not like it's like, are you going to win the game? Like that's kind of what you're going to win your division, right? It's like this is a bunch of guys sitting around voting for something, which I think has kind of typically it's clearer than it is for this. I don't know, because I'm sitting here like I have this bet. Should I hedge it a little bit more? Like, I threw a little hedge on Stafford a few weeks ago. I don't know. It seems like a lot of these people have this like, oh, Matthew Stafford Lifetime Achievement Award, which is just crazy. Like that argument is bullshit to me.
It is bullshit. I agree.
It's like you earn the award if you were the best player in the league. He's never been close to being the best. Like he's played in the era with Aaron Rodgers and Mahomes and Lamar Jackson and Allen and Brady and Breeze, and he was never like it. I feel like I'm coming off as like a hater. Like I was like originally like a huge Stafford guy early in his career, but he's never been considered like one of the best quarterbacks in football. He's always been like a little bit outside that group. And like part of that was he was in Detroit the whole time, I guess.
Yeah, I don't know. I mean, I would say Matthew Stafford. I would say he's been one of the better quarterbacks in the NFL.
Yeah, I'm saying like the tier 1 group. Like the last
like you're
5
talking
years,
like
it's been Mahomes, Allen, Burrow, and Jackson, right? Like those have been kind of like the tier 1 guys. He's always been kind of like covered, partially because he doesn't run, I think. But that's a huge factor. Like that's something that if your offensive line isn't great, it's a lot harder to be good if your quarterback can't move, you know?
Yeah, he's not a mobile guy.
Like obviously, all those the 2010s, like he wasn't into Brady, Manning, Breeze, Rodgers. Like he was
outside that. Yes.
Yeah, that's basically my point. I'm not saying he wasn't great, but those guys were always like, this is the top group, and then there's Stafford. So that's why he's never won an MVP. He's never been deserving of it. He's never been close to deserving of the award. So I don't know. The fact that it's like, oh, we're just going to give it to him now because like we want to like reward the guy. It's crazy to me. But I don't want to spend any more time on that unless you have anything else for that.
My only thought is I know you got a big bet on it, and I want you to win some cash. But just for like a motivation perspective for the league, for the Patriots in the league, I hope they give the award to fucking Matty Stafford, and we're still playing at that time. You know what I mean? It's just another chip on the shoulder, and I always feel like those years, like when Brady probably should have won some MVPs, like 2016, for example, when I thought he was the most valuable player in the league, and they gave it to Matt Ryan, who had a nice statistical season, and then we ended up playing them in the Super Bowl. And Brady obviously had, it was the greatest comeback of all time. In that game, I always think like, oh, okay, you want to give him the MVP? Okay, no problem. I'll go win the Super Bowl. So that's why, I wouldn't hate it if they gave it to Matty Stafford, but my overall thought is that Drake Maye is deserving of the award.
Yeah.
And has earned it.
I actually think all 3 years Brady, nope, I'm wrong. So 2 of the 3 years he won it, they lost the Super Bowl.
Yeah, 2017 and 2007.
2010 I thought he won in 11, but I guess it was 2010. Yeah, so nobody ever wins the Super Bowl who was the last guy to win the Super Bowl who won MVP?
Mahomes in 2022.
Okay, so he got involved. Okay, that makes sense.
But he was the last one for a while. I think before then it had been Kurt
happens.
Warner in 99.
Yeah, it never happens. But yeah, so I mean, there's obviously 1 week left too. Like if Drake goes and lights up the Dolphins, there's just going to be, the Dolphins suck. Like it's crazy how. I also can't remember the schedule ever being this much of a narrative for like an award.
Me neither. That's the stuff that pisses me off, actually.
Yeah. And like they have had a piss poor schedule, but it's like, all right, he didn't. I get using the schedule to question how good the Patriots are. And I think that's totally valid. It's like, yeah, they haven't beaten like these great teams all season. Are they actually that good? I think that's a totally valid question to an extent, right? It's like they may have been more of like I don't know, 12-5 team than a 14-3 team. They might have been more like 11-6 if they had played a bit tougher schedule. But discrediting the guy's play when they have played a lot of good defense. He carved up Atlanta. He carved up the fucking Panthers. He absolutely annihilated the Panthers, who gave Stafford fits. It's like it's not like these teams are that far. It's like people are acting like Orlovsky. Somebody found a tweet of his from like 2022. He was arguing in favor of something. He was like, "This ain't CFB, buddy. NFL, every team's good." But now he's using like 11 wins as that. It's like, dude, get out of here with that shit. But it's like, every team is pretty good. Every team can beat everybody. Any given Sunday, we see weird stuff happen. And like, Maye's going out there beating these bad teams by 3 touchdowns every week by putting on his like performances where he's by far the best player in the field. That's what the MVP does.
I know. I mean, it's funny. I remember when Patrick Mahomes won his first MVP, his first year in the league, 2018. Chiefs went 12-4 that year. The 4 losses they had were to 2 teams above 500. They didn't beat a team above 500 during the regular season that year, and they had a bottom-tier schedule. I don't remember anybody saying anything about, oh, well, Mahomes only did this against the bad teams. They can't beat any of the good teams. I don't ever remember anybody saying that. So it's just like a new thing that they're trying to, whatever. And I don't know if it's just like anti-patriot shit or what or whatever. But
yeah, well, I will say this too before we even get into the preview is that the Patriots schedule next year. I mean, they're going to be playing first place schedule.
Oh yeah,
so they're playing the AFC East. I think they get the NFC North. So you get the Lions, the Bears, the Packers, the Vikings. That's probably one of the top 2 or 3 divisions of football. They get the AFC West. So you get the Chiefs. Doesn't look as hard as usual, but the Broncos, the Chargers, the Raiders. You're going to play your winner of the AFC North, your winner of the AFC South, who's going to be Jacksonville or Houston. And then I think they get the first place team in the NFC West is like their extra 17th game. So you're getting Niners or Seahawks. So it's going to be a gauntlet next year. So people are already like, oh, we're going to see them fall back to earth. I can't wait to see how they do with that next year. I mean, I think they should be better next year too, given that I think they can improve their team in the offseason. But at the end of the day, it's like the schedule is literally a formula that rotates every year based on where you like. It's pretty much decided besides what, 2 games?
Yeah, Mike Vrabel coached a team similar to this in 2020 when he was with the Titans. They had a very easy schedule that year. I think they ended up winning their division and they lost wild card weekend. And then the next year in 2021, they had a schedule like the Patriots will have next year, one of the hardest in the league. And you know what he did that year? They went 12-5 and they had the number 1 seed in the AFC and they lost like a last-second game in the playoffs to Joe Burrow. I have confidence that Mike Vrabel will get his team ready to go when that time comes.
Yeah, I totally agree. I can't wait to see it. It's just like, I don't know. We can move on from the MVP stuff, but it's been making me feel a certain way all week. Just seeing, I thought when that game ended, it was over. It was like, he just blew it. Like, he was throwing.
I still think it's over. I think Drake's winning the MVP. I do think it's over.
I hope you're right, man. I was just really surprised seeing like ESPN the next day how many guys were giving it to Stafford still. But let's move on. Let's preview the Pats Dolphins game. So Pats coming in 13-3, Dolphins at 7-9. Pats 10.5 point favorites. I think it's anywhere between 10.5 and 11.5, depending where you look. EPA stuff. Pats are second in offense, which includes second in dropback EPA per play. Obviously, large part of that's Drake Maye. 26th in rush EPA per play. It's gone up a little bit over the last couple of weeks with some better performances. Defensively, the Dolphins are 25th. They're 26th in dropback EPA per play, so that's a huge advantage for the Pats. With the pass game there, 19th in rush EPA per play. That's just a defense we should be able to get at all day. Conversely, Dolphins offense, 23rd overall, 26th in dropback EPA per play. Tua and Quinn Ewers haven't done themselves many favors there. 8th in rush EPA per play, which should be a bit of a challenge when the Pats come in 11th overall in defense, 10th in dropback EPA per play. Rush defense is all the way down to 20th. Kind of crazy given where they were through 8 or 9 games. So I think stopping the run game will be key this week. I think they should be able to put up plenty of points, but Davon A-Chain is a hell of a player.
Yeah, I mean, you can't coach that kind of speed. He's a legit track star. He's also a tough little kid, too. He's not someone who, like, I think a couple weeks ago he got hurt. He probably could have just, like, said, hey, I'm not going to finish the season. We're not going anywhere. He stayed in it. He played that Monday Night Football game against the Steelers. He's obviously been playing the last couple of weeks. He's a tough little player there. He is their. I mean, he is right now what they have. He is their offense. You know what I mean? Like that's the show is with him. You got to somehow contain him, limit him. I think Milton Williams is coming back this week. It sounds like he's been practicing every day. I know he did practice last week, more limited. I think they want to get him some game reps before the playoffs start. So I'm pretty sure he's going to play, which is critical for the run defense. I don't think Tonga will be back this week. Spillane, maybe. I think he might come back to practice today. It's 50-50. So, that's really going to be the key is if they have those guys, in the run game, their run defense will, I'm not sure it'll be as good as it was, weeks 1 through 10, but I think it'll get a lot better. So that'll be the key to the game for sure. The Dolphins secondary sucks. Drake Maye should do whatever he wants to do.
Yeah, I'm trying to. It doesn't seem like they've named a practice report yet for today. I know that Billy Williams and Will Campbell did practice, I think, yesterday.
Yeah, Will was a full participant yesterday. Yep.
Yeah, so that's great to see. Yeah, Shane, I mean, he's got 1,350 rushing yards this year, 8 touchdowns, an additional 488 receiving yards, 4 touchdowns. I'm a big fan of him. I think he's an awesome. I think if he was on a better team, we'd look at him in the same ways we look at all the best running backs in football, like a Gibbs type, McCaffrey. I think he's legitimately that good. He's incredibly quick. Jalen Wright's actually been running well for them too. He had 56 yards last week. Kid Gordon's a pretty good running back. I don't know if he's healthy right now. I think he was a little banged up, but
yeah, I think
so. Definitely got some good running backs there in Miami. So, like you said, getting Spillane back would be extremely helpful for this one. Milton Williams being back should help. It sounds like Tonga's probably not going to play this week.
I don't think so.
It's unfortunate. I'm hoping they get him back for the playoffs. It doesn't sound like he's doing all that well.
Mm-hmm.
The other thing I got to know for them, Quinn Ewers actually hasn't been terrible. So he's a 7th-round pick out of Texas. Going into the college season last year, he was considered maybe a first overall candidate, and he just had a really bad year. Last week he beat the Bucs. He's overall at a 65% completion percentage, which is pretty solid. 8.1 yards per attempt, 2 touchdowns, 2 picks through 3 games, 87.2 rating. They're obviously going to rely on their run, but he's been a little bit better than he's not playing like a Brady Cook, right? Dylan Gabriel. He actually looks like a somewhat viable NFL quarterback.
Yeah, he looks like someone who belongs as a member of the National Football League. Like Brady Cook, like last week against the Jets, that kid should never play in the NFL again. He's not a player. Quinn Ewers has looked serviceable. More likely that he's going to be a backup player in the NFL. Yeah. I don't see him being a starter in this league, but I think he could be a backup, serviceable type guy if you need to start a game here or there. He hasn't killed him, but at the end of the day, right, Vrabel and his defensive staff have to be licking their chops. This is a kid making his 3rd career start. It's going to be freezing cold on Sunday, you know what I mean, coming into Foxborough. Yeah. But a lot of those guys on the Dolphins probably want to head home for the winter anyways. They don't want to come up here, deal with this, so that's when they should.
Dude. Going from Miami to New England, your last game of the season, they're get me out of here. But yeah, it is going to be, as long as you can put him in 3rd and longs, shut down the chain, make it 3rd and 8, make it 3rd and 6 even, and you always have to make some throws. We should be in a good place.
Yeah, I would do 8 in the box. I would tell Christian Gonzalez, you got Jalen Waddle. Everybody else will figure it out. Oh, Waddle's out too?
I think he got hurt at the end of the game last week.
Oh, did he? Okay. I didn't know he was ruled out. Okay.
Yeah, he hasn't been practicing this week.
Okay. So, yeah, if Jalen Waddle, then
8 in the box, make him beat you make him beat you with the pass for sure.
Yeah, they don't have any true other receiving threats other than maybe Darren Waller, who somehow has found the fountain of youth and just played good for them when he's been healthy this year.
Yeah. So, key players for the game. We can go back and forth. I have a few written down. First, I have Drake Maye. I think this is a game, like we said. So the Dolphins have the 26th ranked pass defense and dropback EPA per play. Mm-hmm. This is a game where he should be able to torch them. They should have most of his receiving core back besides Matt Collins this week too. I would assume Booty's going to be back this week.
He's out of the red contact jersey. He's back to practice. That I did see.
Should have Campbell back at left tackle too, it sounds like. So just another game he should be able to go out and just be the best player in the field. And if he is, should be able to take care of business.
Yeah. I'm gonna pick Stephon Diggs as my guy, and because and the reason why is to see how what's going on off the field, how that's going to impact him on the field. Can he let it not be a distraction and just focus on football and competing and whatever and playing well? Because he's been one of the best receivers in the NFL the last 2 weeks. So can he keep that up, and or is this gonna let it affect him? So that's my number one key person for
yeah, he was on my list too. I think he did know that this was coming the last couple of weeks.
Okay.
Maybe that's what fired him up, because I guess she filed the charges
December 16th, right?
December 16th, yeah. So he's known it was coming. I mean, maybe that's got him playing like a maniac the last couple weeks. You never know with that guy. My next one, I guess last one, I said Jack Gibbons / Christian Ellis. They're going to have no Spillane. It seems likely. These guys are going to have to stick with Devon Achane. Definitely kind of a tough challenge for those guys, but they got to be up for it.
Yeah, my other two. One will be Will Campbell. I want to see how he is in game action. I mean, I think he was the best rookie left tackle in the NFL this year. For a rookie, I mean, he was a top 12, top 15 left tackle in the NFL during his time. He was playing really well, and I think he was the best rookie at his position. So let's see how he does coming back. It's his first real major injury that he's had in football. I guess he had never really gotten banged up like that in high school or college before, he was saying. So
not an
let's see.
Injury either, MCL, your knee, you're playing offensive line. He's had a solid 4 weeks off.
Yeah, it's been about a month, give or take.
Yeah,
month and a half, yeah.
Yeah.
It was a week before Thanksgiving, I want to say it happened, or a couple days before Thanksgiving, give or take. Yeah. So yeah, let's see how he responds. Not worried about it mentally. I mean, he'll be fine. It's just physically, how is his body going to respond, and can he get back to that level he was out? And then my third one is going to be Milton Williams if he does play. Again, similar thing, tough hard ankle injury that he had. He was playing at an elite level. Probably was teetering around an all-pro, Pro Bowl level before he got hurt. So let's see if he can get back up to that and get up to speed before the playoffs.
Yeah, I mean, so he got hurt in that Jets game. That was
middle of November, right?
It was November 13th. So he's had a lot of time, almost 7 weeks now.
Mm-hmm.
He had the bye mixed in. You had the extra week off that he got. He got hurt early in the game, so he's had a lot of time. I mean, high ankles can linger, but that's a lot of time. But I think he should be pretty good. So, I mean, anything else in the game before we get to score prediction?
Yeah, I just want to see us take care of business. Obviously, the Chargers and Harbaugh is a complete coward, and they're not playing anybody because they think, well, we just want to play the Patriots, or we're not worried about seeding, or whatever it is. They're not playing Herbert. They're resting guys. I think that's loser mentality. I think that's what loser franchises and loser teams do. It never worked out for Tony Dungy and those Colts teams. Whenever they would rest guys, they would always seem to lose early on in the playoffs. So.
Yeah,
but because of that,
I will defend him there. It does seem like they're kind of stuck at 7 regardless. I mean, I don't think the Bills are going to lose to the Jets, given what we saw last week. Even if the Bills do a last year, week 18.
Yeah, what if the Bills just throw the game and they want the 7 seed and you can get the 5 seed? Wouldn't you want the opportunity? And why would you want to get...
I guess my thought is, they're pretty banged up. Herbert's playing in a cast. They got their 2 starting tackles down already. I mean, their starting running back's been hurt all year. I think that's if you can get the opportunity to give a guy who's been taking a lot of hits some rest, it's it doesn't seem like they're gonna gain ground anyways. And then if you're them, if you did say climb to 6, they got their ass kicked by the Jags earlier this year. They're I understand they're probably the Patriots don't have a great pass rush. We'll settle with that matchup. We'll take the rest. It is kind of weird that you're giving your division rival the 1 seed.
Yeah,
for looking out for their best interests. It seems like regardless of what they did, they'd probably end up staying 7 anyways. It's
no guarantees of that, and that shit never works out. When you try and mess with the football gods and you try and do that, we want to try and get for this seed or whatever, it never works out in your favor. I hope we end up playing them and we go belt the ass on them. So the Chargers are on my shit list for right now. But what do you expect? Harbaugh went to Michigan, scumbag athletic department there, scumbag coach. You know what I mean? What do you expect? That's what losers do. What they're doing is what losers do. I can't defend it.
What is interesting, I think, is when you look at the playoff field, I think the 3 wild card teams are teams that I'd rather play, or I think the three other division winners outside of us, I'd rather play any of them if it was a home game than any of the three wildcard teams. Like, I think I'd rather play Denver, the Jags, or the AFC North winner than the Bills, Texans, or Chargers. And then, like, I think the Chargers are the weakest of the Bills, Texans, Chargers group, but the quarterback's awesome. Like, it wouldn't be the craziest thing in the world if Herbert just came in and, like, diced us up. You know what I mean?
Maybe. I mean, he's a great player. I don't know. Yeah. He's never performed in the playoffs before.
No, he certainly hasn't. Yeah. And, like, I think we could be looking at, like, a classic May Herbert shootout, too, which would be fun. Mm-hmm. I'm excited, man. But, yeah, what do you got for a score prediction before we jump to that more?
Yeah, sorry, I went off on a tangent there. But my thing was that because that's going to happen, I just want the Pats to get out of this game. If they do some scoreboard watching, can see the Chargers are down 20 points to Denver with Trey Lance. You know, get the starters out the game, get up early, and get guys healthy and get out of Dodge. So I'm going to say 28-17 Patriots.
I said 38-17. But yeah, I mean, I think the thing that's kind of key. So when do the Jags play on Sunday?
I think them and the Texans both play at 1 o'clock.
Okay, because I mean, if we know Jags won on Sunday,
we need to win. Yes,
then we have to win. Yeah, you don't want to fall to 3.
No,
and then go to Jacksonville round 2. Like, you'd much rather play Jacksonville in Foxborough. So,
although Jacksonville's not a tough place to play,
it's not. But I'd also rather those Florida boys, coming up to a freezing cold.
Yes,
Foxborough, right?
100%.
I can't wait for these playoffs, man. We didn't have this on the schedule, but just like I think these matchups, the AFC is so fascinating because I think all these teams have flaws, and they're all pretty good. But it's like nobody's like, you're like, oh, that team's gonna roll. Like nobody's like you're afraid of, but nobody you think is like dog shit either. You know what I mean? Like all these teams,
other than the AFC North, yeah.
And even if it's the Ravens, as shitty as they've been, like. If Lamar all of a sudden looks a little bit healthier in the playoffs, like you're not going to want to play that team. Like that's a team that going into the season, I was saying I think the Ravens finally get out of the AFC this year. So, like you could see any of the 7 teams. I guess. Like I don't think the Chargers will get out of the AFC just given their injuries. Given they're going to have to do 3 games on the road, but like you could see the Texans going on the road winning 3 games. You could see Josh Allen going on the road winning 3 games. You could see Bo Nix.
You could see Josh Allen go on the road win 3 games. He's never won a road playoff game in his life. So you can see him doing it 3 straight times, and he's never done it in his life.
He's had a lot of home games though. I mean,
but he's had a lot of road games too.
Yeah,
he's gone to Kansas City a lot. And
he almost always ends up losing in Kansas City. That's the thing.
Yeah.
No, I get what you're saying, but like at the end of the day, it's like Josh Allen against these guys who most of these guys have never been there. You know what I mean? It's like you could see Bo Nix taking care of business at home with that team. You could see the Patriots. I certainly think the Patriots are good a shot as anybody.
Yeah.
I don't think that. Yeah, it's just interesting. It's like it's such an open field, you know.
It
Especially
is.
After all these years where it's been the Pats all those years were expected, and then the Chiefs all those years, and now it's like who's going to do it, you know?
Yeah, it reminds me of 2008 when the year Brady was hurt when he tore his ACL. It was like the most wide open AFC that year. You know, like the Steelers were pretty good, the Colts were pretty good. I think. The Chargers were pretty solid that year. There was like a bunch of different teams you didn't really know. The Ravens were good that year. There was like 4 or 5 teams you didn't know who was going to go to the Super Bowl. It ended up being Pittsburgh, but it was kind of wide open. But I'm not a Josh Allen hater. I'm just saying he's got a lot of experience, but sometimes having a lot of experience isn't always a good thing because you have bad experience.
Yeah,
he's played well in a lot of playoff games. I'm not saying every playoff game they've lost is his fault. I mean, his moron coach kicked the ball through had the kicker do a touchback with 13 seconds left and lost them a game. That wasn't his fault, obviously. He's played really well in some games, but, he's lost a lot of these big games. At some point, either you become John Elway and you get over the hump and you win a couple, or you're Dan Marino and you don't,
Yeah, it's certainly kind of a crossroads for Josh, and it's like, it's crazy that they finally get there. The Chiefs aren't there. The Ravens are down, but he's still got to be like a 6 seed and go on the road. And his team's not that good. Like, it's going to be a lot of pressure on him in these playoffs.
Oh, yeah. It's all on him. I mean, but if he does it, then it's one of the greatest runs a quarterback's ever had to win a championship because he will legitimately take them on his back because they don't have a good team. James Cook is awesome. He's a great running back. But other than that, that team stinks. That's not a good football team.
It's all him, yeah. So
yeah.
Super excited for that. And obviously, we'll be covering that a little bit more next week. I can't wait to do some playoff previews. We're going to ask him to be fun. We're going to have 6 playoff games next weekend. I can't wait for that. But yeah, let's hop in. I mean, we got 3 big games this weekend that are essentially pseudo playoff matchups. All primetime games, or I guess Carolina. So the first one's Carolina at Tampa Bay, Saturday at 4:30. Do they usually do Saturday? I feel like it's always like every game's on a Sunday.
Yeah, you're right. They usually do it all on Sunday. I don't really remember this week 18.
It's like if you get like an extra day for the playoff. You know what I mean? So it's Tampa minus 2.5, over under 43.5. So Carolina gets in with the win. Even if Carolina loses and the Falcons beat the Saints, Carolina gets in.
Yep.
But Tampa needs to win and have the Saints beat the Falcons, which is, it's funny. Like, I guess what the way it works is if Falcons win, and so I had that wrong on my notes. If the Falcons win, then the Saints and Tampa wins. Then those 3 teams all tie. And the Panthers get the 3-team tiebreaker.
Right.
But if just Tampa and Carolina tie, then Tampa gets the 2-team tiebreaker. Which is wild.
I think Carolina's just going to win the game. That's what I think.
I do too. So
the Buccaneers have won 1 game since October. They beat the Cardinals by 3 points. They're a bad football team right now.
It's funny. So, I think it was like a month ago. Some podcast I was listening to made the case for, could the Falcons sneaky win their division? Mm-hmm. And, I threw, a small bet on it. It was, 25 to win 1,000. And then, a week later, they lost, and I cashed it out for, $5. Now they might actually tie for the division. Mostly because these teams all stink. I mean, Panthers come in at 8-8, Bucks at 7-9. It's crazy. That Bucks win we had, we were riding high. We beat the Bucks in Tampa, and they've just been absolutely trash ever since then. But it's funny because remember we did the first Fact or Fiction we did. I said Baker's the most overrated quarterback in the NFL, and he's been then he's been trash. I think he's definitely banged up.
I think he's got a shoulder injury, dude. He's looking like he did. Remember that year in Cleveland? I think it was either 2021 maybe or 2021, his last year in Cleveland, where he tore his labrum and he just didn't get surgery and he played through and he was awful. Remember he got hurt against, I want to say it was maybe the Buccaneers when they were playing the Rams on Sunday Night Football. I think it was that game he got hurt on. And he has been ass since then. He's been horrible since then. He left the game. He hasn't been practicing during the week much. He's been limited with the shoulder. He should have just sat down for the year. He's not healthy.
Yeah. So I mean, whoever gets this is gonna get a home playoff game, which is I don't know if I'm in favor of changing that rule, but we're gonna have an 8-9 team hosting potentially a 13-4 team. That's kind of crazy. You're gonna have the Seahawks,
but that's why you have divisions, you know.
Yeah. Overall, I am in favor of divisions. So, I mean, it's even just looking at the EPA stats for these teams. The Bucks are 22nd in offense, 16th in defense. Panthers 26th in offense, 23rd in defense. I think Bryce Young had 56 passing yards last week on 24 attempts. Just brutal numbers. So every once in a while, you get one of these 8-9, 9-8 playoff teams that gets the 4 seed, and then they end up winning that first game. I think the Marshawn Lynch beast mode run against the Saints comes to mind. I'll never forget that, watching it at Dwight's up in his old house. We were going crazy. I'll never forget that moment. But I think whoever wins this game is toast. What do you think?
Yeah, I don't think either one of these teams is winning a playoff game. At least when that Seahawks team, their defense just wasn't there yet. It was Pete Carroll's first year. Matt Hasselbeck, I think, was the quarterback of that team. He had been to a Super Bowl already. He was a solid quarterback. Obviously, they had Marshawn Lynch. They weren't a bad offense. They were solid, but neither of these teams have anything like that.
Yeah.
I can't see the Panthers or the Buccaneers winning a playoff game. The Buccaneers have the talent, but there's something going on there. Baker's not healthy, and Todd Bowles has lost that team.
Yeah. The Panthers do tend to hang in games, I guess, but I mean, I don't know. So What do you have for a pick? My pick is going to be Bucks and Falcons win, so the Panthers get in, just for the most chaotic scenario.
No, I mean that would be funny, but I think the Panthers are going to win this game. I think they're going to win 20-17. The Bucks can't. Yeah, the Bucks can't do anything right now. But I do think the Falcons will. Actually, no. Who are the Falcons playing? Are they playing the Saints on Sunday?
Saints.
No, I think the Saints are going to win. The Saints are hot. And whenever
that Falcons team, man, if they can get a quarterback like that, Rams game, I mean, their defense, yeah, they're so poorly coached. They had so many false starts against the Rams. I mean, they get the block kick, but like they have a pass rush. They have Bijan's like really, really freaking good. Drake Maye obviously showed against us how good he was. Cousins is like a statue at this point, though.
Yeah, he's so old.
Yeah. So next game, Saturday, 8:00. What a great Saturday night football game, man. Seattle at San Francisco. Seahawks -1.5. Over under 47.5. Seahawks are 13-3. Niners are 12-4. It's essentially the NFC West title game with one seed at play. Whoever wins this is going to be the one seed. So really, like it's crazy that slinging Sammy Darnold, second year in a row, Week 18 primetime game for the one seed against a division rival. How the hell is he back in this situation? Going on the road, too.
Yeah, it's going to be a great, great game. Week 1 was a really good game between these two teams. I don't know if you remember. Brock Purdy had the late drive, beautiful touchdown pass to win the game with not too much time left in Seattle. I think it's going to be a really tight contest. The big factor is Kittle's back this week. They had a great offensive performance last week without him still, but getting him right, that's going to be key for San Fran. I think it's going to be a great game.
Is so banged up too. Like,
it is.
Brock Purdy was balling last week against the Bears. What a game that was, man! I was.
Did you watch that game?
Yeah, I stayed up. I was like, this game is way too good for me to go to bed right now, and like, that was it. NFL football at its finest.
I bet the over, and it cashed in like the first play of the third quarter. So I was like, oh, this is great. I just got to have fun and watch a great game.
Yeah, I actually had the Niners, and they were up. It was 3.5. They're up 4 last play.
Yeah.
Complete. EPA stuff. Seahawks 14th in offense, 2nd in defense. Niners 6th in offense, 24th in defense. So you got a great Niners offense going up against a great Seahawks defense. Should be really interesting stuff. I mean, other thing, Kyle Shanahan is all of a sudden, I think he's leading coach of the year now. And he kind of like should be, honestly.
No, it should be Vrabel. It should.
Well, yeah, those two. Yeah, Mike McDonald too. I think is right there. But what Shanahan's been able to do, I mean, their defense is torched. They didn't have Purdy for a lot of the year. He's getting wins with Mac Jones. Kittle's been in and out of the lineup. I mean, their receiving core all of a sudden, it's like Juwan Jennings and Ricky Pearsall who can't seem to stay on the field, and it just doesn't even matter who's out there. So he's incredible, man.
Oh, he's done a great job. It's no knock to Shanahan. I'm very biased. I have Vrabel at plus 500 from preseason to win Coach of the Year, so I'm biased. But also,
that was all it was.
Yeah,
I guess that he was kind of
he was the favorite
at that pick.
Yeah. Him and Ben Johnson were the two favorites. But regardless, you also have to remember, I'm not even giving the Patriots credit for winning that last game against Buffalo last year. So in my mind, they won 3 games last year. They were probably the worst roster in the NFL. We had won 8 games in 2 years, however many games in 2 years. Like, it was a bottom bones, like, rebuild. He did have a young quarterback with a lot of talent, but nobody really knew how good Drake Maye was going to be. And he's completely revitalized the organization. I mean, I don't know. Shanahan's had a great year. I don't know how you could not give the award to Mike Vrabel.
Yeah, it's almost like a mix of Coach of the Year and Executive of the Year. So I don't know who even like the Patriots executive would be for that. Is it?
Don't you dare tell me it's Elliott Wolf.
I don't think it's Elliott Wolf. Is it Vrabel? Like, I think they were all involved, but like, the roster's so different where they have all those rookies that hit all these free agents. And he's obviously done it. It's just organizational excellence from the Patriots. I think they deserve some sort of credit. But yeah, I mean, Shanahan, I think if you're like, he's as valuable as like anyone outside like a top 8 quarterbacks. Like, he's just so good at making decent quarterbacks look awesome. Now, I think Purdy's pretty damn good. I gotta say, he was so impressive against the Bears last week, making plays with his legs and all that. But this should be a great game, man. I can't wait to watch
This is the game of the week.
Yeah, this is. I'm kind of surprised this isn't the Sunday night game.
Me too.
What's your pick?
This is hard for me, dude. I've been going back and forth on this all week. Like, I want to pick the Seahawks because I think they have a better team, but I just don't trust Sam Darnold in a big spot in prime time. I feel like he's just going to shit his pants and like lose the game. So I'm going to roll with the Niners at home in a very close game, 24-21 49ers.
Yeah, when I was like writing the sheet out for the podcast yesterday, I had written Niners, and I was like, you know what? I'm going with Sam Darnold. I'm riding with the Seahawks.
It's your boy.
I said I would not bet this game, but it's funny because when we did the Fact or Fiction too early in the season, I said that Sam Darnold's the NFL James Harden, and that was like obviously we said like that's probably not the right comparison. I feel like betting on him in this game feels like backing like a James Harden-led basketball team in a big game. It's like, am I really going to do this again? Like, everything's telling me I shouldn't, but I kind of want to get just go with it. I can't wait to see what he's got, man.
It would be like betting on James Harden in Game 7, 2018 against Golden State. It'd be the same thing.
Exactly. It's like this guy just showed me time and time again the moment's too big for him, and it's just crazy that he keeps finding himself in these moments. I can't believe how last season ended for him, that he's about to be like we may be looking at Sam Darnold going into, I don't know, Tampa or Carolina next week with all the pressure in the world on him. Like, he just blew a game in San Francisco. Is he gonna let this eat him up? And then, so what's his contract? Is he signed next year?
Yeah. They gave him like a 3 or 4 year, $100-something million contract. He got paid.
Okay, so he's not playing for a contract again.
No.
Okay.
No. He's there for a bit. Yeah, I mean,
it's all guaranteed next year too. Most of it. Okay, so yeah, at least Sam's got that. I'll be pulling for Sam, man. I kind of like both of these teams, to be honest. I think they're both just really good. Should be a great game though.
Yeah, I think this will be the best game on the slate this weekend. I think it'll be a good one. But I don't know. Brock Purdy's hot. Brock Purdy's on a heater right now, dude. Like, the last 3 weeks, he's been one of the best quarterbacks in the NFL. Like, some of his moves that he was toying. I know the Bears don't have this great defense. He was toying with the Bears.
They're not
on Sunday night.
So yeah, I think I'm pulling it up now on all that. Like, the site I use for the EPA stuff, success rate, CPOE, all that. He's all of a sudden second. And his EPA per play is actually first in the league. He wasn't qualifying on this sheet until this week because he hadn't played enough. But on a per play basis, he's been outstanding this year. So
he's a good athlete. He can move.
Yeah, I think he's a lot better than he's gotten credit for. Even I think I haven't always given him credit for being as good as he is. So
oh yeah,
should be a good one. And then Sunday Night Football. I feel like this has happened 5 times in the past 15, 20 years. We've got a Baltimore at Pittsburgh Sunday Night Football for the AFC North. Tell me this hasn't happened a handful of times where you've got these two going for the division title. Baltimore's minus 3.5. Well, Baltimore's minus 3.5 on the road at Pittsburgh. A little bit surprised by that. Over/unders 40.5. So Pittsburgh's 9-7, Baltimore's 8-8. Yeah, the winner's going to get the 4 seed. I think these teams are the epitome of mediocre this season, but here we are. One of them's going to get in. Yeah,
I think Harbaugh may have learned his lesson from blowing that game against the Patriots a couple weeks back. He rode King Henry to a victory in Lambeau on Saturday night last week. Career high 36 carries, 200-plus yards, 4 tutties. I think this is another vintage Derrick Henry game. Lamar is going to play, it sounds like. I think he practiced again today, so I think he's going to play. With no DK Metcalf, the Steelers have no threat for Aaron Rodgers for him to throw the football. Who's he going to throw the ball to? They don't have anybody without DK. So I think the Ravens are going to win this game. I would take them to cover that 3.5.
I would too. Pittsburgh's 25th in rush EPA per play defensively. I don't think the Steelers are that good. They always find a way in the playoffs, though. You gotta say. It's like they're gonna get in. They're probably gonna lose round 1 again if they win this game. But like we talked about earlier, if Lamar gets in, so it's gonna be probably Houston going to Baltimore. That's a great playoff game. That's what it ends up being. I think they played a good game this season, didn't they?
No, the Texans absolutely obliterated them because Lamar didn't play that game. They won like
Yeah,
44
yeah,
to
yeah,
something. Yeah.
yeah, yeah. Okay. So EPA stuff. Ravens are 15th in offense, 19th in defense. Steelers 18th in offense, 17th in defense. Just two middle of the pack teams all year long. So I gotta ask you, do you think the Ravens could make a run if he is like back? I mean, he did get that. You would think as much as it's like he was out with a back injury, maybe he gets a little bit more time to heal that hamstring. I don't know.
Who? The Ravens? No, I don't think they're going to make a run. I don't. I think maybe they win a playoff game. Maybe. I'm not saying that's like if you told me they played the Texans in round one and like they eked out like a gritty win. No, I wouldn't be stunned. But I would be surprised if they won anything more than that.
Yeah, I mean, it's like, all right, so if they win that
Why,
one.
you think they can go on a run?
Let's go through it. So if they win that one, and say the Pats and Jags both take care of business in round one, and you've got those top four seeds moving forward, do you think the Ravens can go into into Denver and win? Because I do. It's got to be like let's ride Derrick Henry. Like we've kind of kept him.
Yeah.
I mean, he doesn't even need to be kept fresh. He's such a freak. But like the last couple of weeks, dude, he's just been an absolute beast. And it's like that's a guy like that's how you win playoff games in January on the road. Is you can run the football, take the air out of the ball. Their defense has definitely been a bit better the past couple of months. So I don't know. I wouldn't be shocked if we're sitting here 3 weeks from now and the Ravens are playing the AFC Championship. I'm not saying I'm not necessarily favoriting that, but as we're talking through it, I can definitely see it.
I don't know. I'd find it hard to believe them being in the AFC Championship. Maybe, but I don't know. I feel like they might. At best, they'll win a playoff game. No more than that. Maybe, I don't know. Could they beat the Broncos? Sure, the Broncos are beatable. They've had so many of these one-score crazy wins that one of them's going to go against them. And the last time the Ravens went into Denver in the divisional round, Joe Flacco did have one of the greatest Hail Marys of all time to Jacoby Jones, and they won that crazy game in double OT, if you remember. So, yeah, I mean, you never know. I mean, it's the NFL, but I don't know if to trust the health of the quarterback, and I don't believe in the coach anymore. I don't believe in Harbaugh.
Yeah, and I think we talked about last week all this weird stuff with Harbaugh and Lamar Jackson. Like, does that kind of dirty the waters a little bit? I'm taking the Ravens in this one, though. It's more of a Derrick Henry. Like, what I've been seeing out of that guy, like, dude, I just think he can kind of carry you through games, and especially when it's cold. Like, that's just it's so much harder to tackle guys like that when it's freezing cold out.
Oh, yeah. Is this a loser leaves town game? And what I mean by that is this coaches, yeah. Like Tomlin goes maybe somewhere else. Maybe he goes coach the G-Men or something like that. Or maybe Harbaugh's on TV next year. Do you think that is? Like the loser of this game might be out of a job?
Yeah, I could see it, dude. I definitely could. I would say, yeah. I'd say let's call this an official loser. The first official Next Ring podcast loser leaves town game between Baltimore and Pittsburgh. But yeah, that'll wrap up. So we're both taking the Ravens.
Yes. Yeah, I think the Ravens win this game. I think the Ravens win this game like 30-14. Like, I think that it's an ass beating.
Yeah, I like that a lot, too. So that'll wrap up the NFL talk. Real quick, who do you got? So we're recording this at 4:15. Right now it's 4:15 on New Year's Day. Who do you think wins this Alabama-Indiana game?
I feel like it's probably going to be Indiana. I mean, I like Alabama. Like, that's who I root for. But I don't know. I don't trust them this year. They haven't like really played that well. Kalen DeBoer is great as an underdog. In his career, 10-4 straight up as an underdog, so he's very good at in his career. But Cignetti's done such a good job. They have a really good defense. Indiana, they have the Heisman Trophy winner. I don't know. I don't trust. Alabama doesn't really have the ability to run the football this year. Which, if they can't do that, and Indiana's just gonna be able to get home with 4 and kick their ass rushing the passer because I know they don't have to do anything to stop the run. It could be a long game. What about you?
I took Indiana, and I thought that spread seemed way too high, and it was almost like
it's a trick, yeah,
right. By thinking it's this high, I kind of pulling for Indiana. I think they're a fun story. I think it's crazy that Indiana football is number 1 in the country right now. Who do you got in the late one? What's the spread in the late one?
I think it's 6. I think it's Georgia's -6. Over under 54. Yeah. I think this is one where Georgia, I think, is, now that Ohio State's gone, I think Georgia's got a great chance to win the national championship. Just another, they've lost 1 game this year, I think, by 3 points to Alabama. Very well coached, Kirby Smart team. very good defense. They don't give up much on the ground. I think this is a Georgia win. I don't know if they cover the spread, but I think they're going to win this game.
Yeah, it is shaping up well. I hope that's a good game. And then I gotta just say, shout out to the Miami Hurricanes, man. Going on the road the first game and beating Texas A&M 10-3, and then really kind of just locking up Ohio State last night.
Yeah,
I did not see this coming from Miami in the playoff. I did not think they'd be sitting there going to the semis. So they'll play the winner of the Georgia game, right? That should be.
It could be a Carson Beck revenge game against Georgia.
Crazy.
That'd be fun.
I said it last night. I was like, I can't believe that's shaping up. And then so Oregon looked great today. I think
unbelievable
I
defense.
think Oregon's going to win it all. That's kind of been my pick for a while.
You were saying that, yep.
Oregon Indiana rematch, which I watched that full game earlier in the season, and that was the game I was like, man, Indiana is legit. They went into Eugene where Oregon plays.
Yep.
They went into Eugene and just took care of business. Like, just out toughed them. So we could get that. I mean, what a little I've kind of been you know what? I've kind of criticized the 12-team playoff. I think it's too much. I don't think we need 12 teams. I think 8's. I was always a fan of 4. Honestly, I thought it was like if you're the 5th team, get out of here. I think with the NIL stuff, I think there's a bit more parity. I think 8's probably like actually the sweet spot where like this round, all these teams are pretty damn good. They're gonna obviously probably blow it up more, but
yeah, they'll go to 16 in a few years.
Yeah, this round's been good. Like this has been good football, and I think we're setting up for some great semis. So ton of good football. When is the next round? That's my last. So
January 8th and January 9th. Yep.
Oh, it's in a week. Okay. So, wow. Next weekend, we got Thursday, CFP, Friday, CFP, Saturday, wild card, Sunday, wild card, Monday night, wild card. Jesus Christ. What a weekend of football.
That Tuesday will be like one of the hardest come downs of like my life of no football when there's no games on Tuesday. You know what I mean? It's like we'll have Thursday, Friday, Saturday, Sunday, Monday.
And even the following weekend, you got Saturday, Sunday divisional, Monday college championship.
Yeah, it's beautiful. It's the best time of the year for football right now, man. This is.
I think I've always said like you talk about the worst Mondays of the year. I think Monday after New Year's is always kind of brutal. Like the holidays are over. It's a dark, cold winter ahead of us. Having the Patriots back in the playoffs definitely makes it a whole lot easier. And this slate is just incredible. So really looking forward to watching. We'll hop off now, go watch these college games. Hopefully the Pats take care of business Sunday. And yeah, we probably hop on the Sunday right after the game. You'd be able to join?
Potentially. I might be around. I'll let you know.
All right.
Thanks
everybody for listening. Go Pats.
Go Pats. Later.